That is the craziest freaking scenario I've ever seen.
Did that. She had woke me out of my sleep doing. I was like, oh my God, and moved her hand and slid over out of the bed. And every time I told her no, she's like, damn, you must really like Keke.
It's the audacity for me. It's the audacity. The fact that Kennan was able to lie to KK and she was able to eat that up. For him to say, oh no, she was touching me, kept pushing her away. We all saw what we saw. KK saw the same video we saw. So what does she not believe? Does she not believe her own eyes? How can she be that naive? What is it about Kennan that she really likes that's making her sort of lose her mind and her ability to rationalize? And why is she forgiving this man? Oh my God, I'm so furious. Hey there, thanks for stopping by. It's Valerie. Welcome to my channel. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Love Island USA Season 5, Episode 26. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, leave a comment, and definitely turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos. This is messy, and it's really upsetting and infuriating, and I hate to be right. I really do, because I remember saying that I have a feeling Keke is going to go back to Kennan, and it seems like she is going back. So the episode starts with the islanders. Everybody's sort of still reeling from the aftermath of the recoupling, and they go into their couples and they're sort of having a conversation. Kennan stays sat down, and so Keke and him start having this conversation about what happened during Kassy and the fact that she received a video. The first words out of Kennan's mouth should have been, I am sorry. I want to apologize from the bottom of my heart. I'm sincerely sorry. I crossed boundaries that were set when I shouldn't have. I know we were not closed off. We were open to exploring connections with other people, but I did A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and I want to sincerely apologize for embarrassing you. That was never my intention. It's just I got carried away. Those should have been the first words out of his mouth, and then everything else should have followed. And for Keke to sit there and eat all that up, I don't get it. Now I understand, because I think Destiny is like me. When all the girls were speaking to Keke in Casa and sort of giving their opinions and what was going to happen, Destiny just sat in the corner and just looked at her. And that would have been me. I would just sit there and look at you and wait for you to lead. I wouldn't give you my opinion until I felt you were ready. Because now all the girls were sort of on her side. They were fighting her battle at recoupling. They were having a go at Kennan, only for her to sit there with Kennan and pretend like nothing happened. Now they're the fools with egg on their face because they were fighting her battle when she wasn't ready to fight her battle. She's content and she's comfortable where she is. And I think this is why Destiny kept quiet and didn't say anything. Even at the fire pit when all the girls were going at Kennan, she just sat there and just kept quiet. Her only comments were to ask about Leo's incident, and that was it. Because she knew she spends more time with Keke and Kennan, and so she knows what's going on with them too. And I think she had a feeling that they were not ready to split up, and so that was it. I don't know why Keke put up with that, because after the conversation she storms off, starts having a conversation with Marco and Hannah, and then Kennan comes and grabs her, and Destiny followed, I think because she wondered, why are people going that way? She followed, and she didn't say anything at all. She just stood there and just watched them. And this is what Hannah and Marco should have done. As soon as Kennan pulled her, they should have left them alone, and they should have gone and sat down and started talking about their conversation. You don't need to save someone who doesn't want to be saved, because now they look like fools going across to try and pull her from Kennan, and she sat there quietly and she says, give me a minute. A minute to what? What do you need a minute for? This man has disrespected you on national TV. This will be watched till eternity. What more does he need from you? You should walk away and leave him alone. And he's still, oh, I want to apologize. He only apologized because he realized that everybody in the villa is not happy with him. And so he's trying to get Keke on his side. That way everybody else will be on his side. And I don't get why she's entertaining him. I love the fact that Hannah and Marco, once they were sat down, said, I'm done. I'm not going to stress myself over somebody else's problem. I think this is what Hannah should have done as soon as Keke agreed to go and sit down with Kennan. They should have left her. They shouldn't have followed her, because what's the point in giving attention to someone or loving someone who doesn't love themselves enough to pull them out of a situation? You end up being the enemy in that situation, and when they make up, they'll be, oh, everybody else in the village is against us, but we are okay. No, leave her alone. Okay, the producers had better be paying Taylor, because how is she still teaching Bergy how to kiss? Given the fact that he's kissed every girl in the villa except for Destiny, by now he should be experienced because he's kissed at least 6 girls, if I'm not mistaken. He's kissed at least 6 girls. So why is he struggling to kiss? Why does he need to be taught every single thing? It was cute, but now it's getting annoying. It's getting annoying. But I have to give her credit because she's open-minded and she's willing to sort of explore things with him. So that's good for them. And then you have Hannah O speaking to Mike. I think Mike has more feelings for Hannah O than people may think he does, because in the background there was one time where I could see them just sitting there cuddling, and now they're sitting there cuddling again, and he's having a conversation and he's saying, I want to know you're okay, I'm worried about you, I want to make sure you're fine. And she is asking him about his connection with Destiny and how he plans to move forward, whether there was anything there. And he says, well, it was in the early stages. I want him to leave Destiny alone. I don't think Destiny should go back to Mike. I think Mike has moved on. He's done way more with Hannah O than he's done with Destiny. And I don't want my girl Destiny to be hurt. It's bad enough Harrison hurt her. I don't want anyone else to hurt her feelings. I think it's time for him to sort of, he did what he did in bed with Hannah O. He has to stick to that. And then the girls are sitting and sort of having a conversation. And it's like, who made Carmen the voice of reason? Who told her that she has the right to advise anyone, given how she started in the villa? I hate it. I hate the fact that the girls are even giving her the opportunity to pretend to be a nice guy. I think the producers want her to have this story arc whereby she started off a villain and now she's one of the sweetest people. No, she needs to go home when it's time to go home. And you can see that the girls are fed up. Hannah wasn't even there because I think Hannah was fed up and she's not going to entertain him. So you had all the other girls except for Hannah. And she was saying, oh, he has to work hard to win me back because I'm just not going to be open like that. And it's like, the moment he asked you and he said, did you want to end things? And you said, well, you needed time. That's the moment you lost any right to demand anything from Kennan, because he realized that he could get you like just, clicking his fingers. So you are wasting your time and you're wasting our time trying to explain anything. I wish you could take a page out of Cassie's book, because Cassie says she's very offended by what Leo did and they're done. She's not going to go back. And it's like, but Keke, you're sitting right next to Cassie and you can't learn from Cassie what she's saying. What else do you need? What other level of disrespect do you need from this man in order for you to learn from the other girls and for you to learn that you shouldn't allow a man to walk all over you? I don't get that. In the bathroom, you have Mike and Destiny, and Mike is sort of trying to speak to Destiny, and Destiny just storms off. And I know a lot of people say, "Oh, Destiny's got a bad attitude." No, she doesn't. She doesn't. If he hadn't bumped into her in the bathroom, would he ever have spoken to her? She's right to walk off. She is right to walk off. If he really wanted to speak to her, he should have pulled her for a chat. The fact that he didn't pull her for a chat and waited until they bumped into each other in the bathroom, that means we're done. That means we're done. That means you don't feel you owe me an explanation. You don't feel you owe me any respect. So please keep it moving and I'll keep it moving. And that's it. And then you had Destiny sort of having a conversation with Keke. And Destiny was right to say, I support you in whatever you decide to do, because Keke is, oh, I don't know whether to sleep in the same bed with Kennan or to sleep somewhere else, because that would just be me giving in. Why are you even debating whether or not you should go to bed with Kennan? You should not go to bed with Kennan. Kennan does not deserve to lay in the same bed as you. Given the fact that that's the same bed he was messing about with Nadja. Make it make sense. So all the islanders go to sleep and Kennan sleeps outside. Do I think Kennan slept outside because he wanted to? No. I think the side eyes from the rest of the islanders is the reason why he slept outside, and is the reason why KK decided to let him sleep outside. Because I think if everybody had sort of ignored them, they would have been sharing the same bed and they would have been making out like nothing happened. Because I think they love that toxicity and they thrive on that. Jonah and Taylor sleep outside and it's like, oh, okay, do you? Hey, it is what it is. And Carmen and Kenzo also sleep outside in Salt Highs. And it's like, okay. Can we vote them out, please? I really am not buying whatever they're selling. Anyway, in the morning, you have KK and Imani speaking. And it's like, why are the girls continuing to entertain this conversation about Kennan? Maybe just sit there and just say yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Because whatever you have to say or whatever opinion you have, KK is not going to take it on board. So why waste your time? And it's surprising how, although KK and Kennan appear to be older, their situation is more toxic than the younger people, Cassie and Leo. And it's like, how? Make it make sense. How are Leo and Cassie appearing more rational than the two of you? It doesn't make sense because Leo then speaks to Mike and tells him, I can feel everybody's staring me down and everybody's disappointed in me. But for me, that doesn't matter. My only concern is the fact that Cassie's hurting as a result of my actions. And obviously, I also have to take Janae into consideration. Everybody else's opinion at the moment doesn't matter to me because I have to take responsibility for my actions and I have to allow Cassie time to sort of process whatever she's processing. And when she's ready, we'll speak. But it's like, why didn't Kennan do the same thing? How is he a grown man and he doesn't know basic conflict resolution or how to apologize? It doesn't make sense to me at all. I have to give Janae a lot of credit because she said her priority at the moment was Leo and how he's feeling. So they were having a conversation, obviously, of everybody's attitude about what happened between Janae and Leo and how Cassie feels about it. And Leo said his priority is himself, um, Janae and Cassie. Everybody else's opinion doesn't matter to him, which is the best thing to do, really. And for Janae, she said her priority was Leo. And I don't get why people are making such a big deal about this. Yes, I know people gave Harrison a side eye after the Destiny situation, but they didn't treat him as badly as they're treating Leo. So I don't get why Leo's, facing everybody's wrath. And so they're having a conversation, and Janae was right because she supported Leo in whatever he wanted to do. She didn't tell him, well, that's over and done with. Let's move on. Now prioritize me. No, she listened to him vent about what he was going through and told him he was a priority and she was going to support him, which I think is the best thing she can do because the two of them made a consensual decision to engage in sex. And so for everybody else to feel some type of way, I don't get it. And I think everybody's just jumping onto the bandwagon just because the girls are back from Casa, because nobody had any issue with it until the girls came back, and suddenly now all the girls and the guys are treating them differently, and it's like, why? He wasn't closed off. He didn't tell anyone he was going to close off things with Cassie. Yes, he said he would miss Cassie, but he didn't say he was closed off. Everybody knew who Leo was the moment he went from Cassie to Anna to Anna to Cassie. They should have known that he's only 21 years old and he's going to move crazy. Um, and then you have Bergy sort of speaking to Cassie, and Cassie is sort of venting to Bergy because they were in a coupling before, so it makes sense that she would feel comfortable enough to sort of express what she's going through. And he was very supportive in the sense that he didn't tell her what he wants her to do, but he was just there to listen and to acknowledge what she was saying, which I give him credit for. And then you have Keke and Keenan talking. And for Bergy to call someone out, they know you've really done something bad. Because Bergy normally doesn't like confrontation. So for him to say the situation with Keke and Keenan is very toxic, he must have seen something that we, the viewers, haven't seen. And for Keke to take him back, I don't get it. I don't get it. When she hasn't even given him 24 hours to sort of go through what he's going through, I don't know whether she's just looking at the price, at the opportunity to stay in the villa, or whether she's actually looking at how she comes across, given the fact that she's allowed this man to walk all over her. Because it's very humiliating and very embarrassing. So I don't get why she continues to put up with whatever this man is doing when he says to her, "Oh, I didn't intend to hurt you." Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You did intend to hurt her the moment you tried to explore things with Emily, with Imani, with Cassie, with Nadja, every single girl. If they were to bring bombshells now, the only reason why he wouldn't explore is because maybe he's afraid that all the other islanders would kick off. Otherwise, he would be open to exploring a connection with somebody else. I don't think he really likes Keke. I think he's with Keke because she's convenient, because he knows he can do whatever he wants and she will always take him back. That's just my opinion. So you have the Casa boys speaking. Obviously, they are a bit stressed because they've come to the party late. But at least there's three of them. So if everybody else isolates them, there's the three of them. They can sort of keep each other company. And there's just talking about their relationships and how messy they are, in the sense that Mateo is stuck in this sort of square with Janae and Leo and Cassie. So he doesn't know how to navigate that. And he really wants Cassie to sort of get over it. And it's like, these people have feelings and emotions. You need to allow someone to grieve what they're going through. Yes, you want to move on because you haven't been affected by it, but you need to allow them time. This is the same thing I was saying about Jonah when he was saying, "Oh, Destiny's holding back." People are allowed to hold back because they, at the end of the day, when the show ends, they will still need to process this stuff if they haven't processed it. So allow them the time to process and move on. It's not like they're robots that they'll just say on to the next one, on to the next one. Zay expresses that he feels some type of way because Sarah Hyland spoke about the fact that Mike and Destiny were trying to explore a connection, and it's like, why would you? Obviously, you were shown Destiny never really was romantically attracted to Jonah. So the fact that she was exploring something with Mike makes sense because otherwise she would have had to be single. And in order to stay in the villa, you need to be a couple, except you are Bergy. And so he wasn't sure where he stood. And then we have Mike sort of speaking to Destiny. I do not like Mike for Destiny. I do not like him. I think he's playing a character. I can see through the BS. Maybe it's just me because the fact that he was trying to fix her hair. Oh, I don't want you out here looking crazy. I don't want you this, that, and the other. And if the door shuts, it's because you shut it. No, he did the same thing that Kennan did. The only reason Destiny doesn't know is because his video wasn't included. He needs to tell Destiny what happened and he needs to apologize for him to make it seem like, oh, I'm open to getting to know you and I'm open to getting to know Hannah O, and whatever is the strongest connection is the one that I go with. Destiny, you need to open your eyes because she says, oh, Zay speaks to a different part of me and Mike speaks to. So did Harrison, so did Marcos, so did Jonah. They all spoke to a different part of you. Don't be blinded by this man just because you think, oh, I've got feelings for him. He needs to tell you what happened before you emotionally invest any further. And I don't think Mike is it for Destiny. He's spending time with Hannah O. We know that's his type. We saw how he behaved when they were in bed after he led Deja on. So that's it. That's done. She needs to move on. And then you have Leo sit down and have a conversation with KK because he's feeling some type of way because he feels everybody's alienating him. And I still don't get it. He's not the only person who did something wrong. So did Mike. So did Kennan. So did Harrison. Nobody isolated them. Why suddenly is it bad that he has done it? No, I don't get it. I don't get why people are upset with him. The only person who has the right to be upset with Leo is Cassie. Everybody else needs to take several seats. Their disappointment, their anger, or whatever they feel, they need to keep it in their chest and just keep quiet because he does not owe them an explanation. He does not. Yes, he might owe an apology to the people that were in the room when he had sex. Yes, because he didn't, respect them enough to sort of control himself. But at the end of the day, all the girls that were in Casa, he doesn't owe them an explanation. He did not sleep in their beds. He slept in his bed with Cassie, and Cassie's the only other person he owes an apology. Everybody else needs to take several seats somewhere and keep quiet. I don't like it. I don't like the fact that people are targeting him and are picking on him when he's not the only person who's done something wrong. So the islanders get ready for the night, and after drinks, Destiny sits down with Zay to have a conversation because Zay is feeling some type of way. And one thing I like about Destiny, I know people say, oh, she's childish, she's rude, but she's always been a great communicator with all her partners, it seems, or anyone she's sort of trying to create a connection with. Because they sit down with Zay and Zay expresses that he feels some type of way that Destiny didn't. Well, he didn't say you lied to me or you hid something. He just said, I would have preferred you tell me about Mike. That way I knew where I stood because he put all his eggs in Destiny's basket, thinking that Destiny did not have a connection with anyone else. And then Destiny hid the fact that she and Mike were exploring something only for him to find out from Sarah Hyland. So I understand how he feels some type of way, and I'm happy that he was able to express himself to Destiny to say, I feel this way because of ABC, and I want to know, did you bring me here because you're not sure about your connection with Mike, or what am I here for if you are still exploring things with Mike? So Destiny was able to sort of explain herself, but I wish she could close the door on Mike because I don't think Mike is it for her. Mike is still playing, footsies in bed with Hannah O. He's busy cuddling her and busy touching her and doing whatever. She doesn't need that. She doesn't need to have her time wasted. So I wish she could close things off because Destiny's response is she brought Zay back because she was confident in their connection. And it's like, don't skirt around the Mike issue. Address the Mike issue now because you don't want to be closer to Zay and then suddenly things go left because he finds out more from Mike than what you revealed to him. And it was nice to see them cuddle. I don't know. 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 I don't I don't know whether she cuddled him because she really wanted to be intimate with him, or whether she cuddled him to make Mike jealous. I don't think Mike is it for her. Mike is with his type. She needs to move on. She needs to try and explore things with Zay. If they don't work out, they don't work out. But at the end of the day, Mike is not it for her. I know I'm always saying people are not it for her. I don't think Jonah was it, and he proved me right. And I still don't think Mike is it. Zay, I'm not sure, but I lean towards I don't think is it. But I would rather she stay with Zay, even if she gets to the finale, than stay with Mike because I don't think Mike is it. And then I'm surprised, given how everybody was saying Cassie is very shallow, how she's handled the situation with Leonardo. I have a lot of respect for her. And it's like people like Carmen. I don't buy Carmen and Hannah, given the things that they were saying behind Cass's back, for them to say, oh, we support you, we're here for you. You were saying she's shallow. You were talking about her and bad mouthing her. When did that opinion change? Anyway, she sits down for a conversation with Leo and sort of lets Leo sort of express himself, and she addresses whatever. I wish KK had done the same thing with Kennan, because Leo is taking responsibility for his actions, is apologetic. And Cassie is continuing to hold his feet to the fire to sort of ask him, were you wearing my bracelet? Were you thinking about me when you're having sex? Were you do-? So she's asking for the answers that she should ask for, and she acknowledges that they had a great friendship, and it's a pity that things went the way that they did. And she stood her ground. Whereas KK folded easily. She was lied to. Oh, Nadja was the one who was pushing up on me. I was trying to push her off. And she folded. And it's like, seriously, did you not watch the video? Where was he pushing her off? So I don't get why everyone was saying Cass is shallow, given how she's handled the situation with Leonardo. And I also give Leonardo a lot of credit for a 21-year-old to take responsibility for his actions and be apologetic and understand the need for personal space and understand the need for someone to sort of process what emotions they're going through. I take my hat off to him. I understand people on this show say that, a day seems like a week or a month or whatever. But the idea that you're in a coupling with someone who is just broken up with somebody else and you expect them to move on immediately doesn't make sense to me, because you have Mateo sit down with Cassie and he's sort of asking what happened with Leo and where do you stand, and Cassie's sort of saying, I'm still processing what's happened. I can't give you 100% because I'm dealing with my emotions. I have to grieve the breakdown of my relationship as I knew with Leo, and then once I've gone through that process, I'm able to give you 100%. But if you want to get to know other people, I'm not going to stop you from getting to know other people. And it's like, how can you expect someone who was in a coupling with somebody for a week, 2 weeks, to suddenly realize that he slept with someone and then, oh, okay, that's done, let's move on? These are human beings. You need to allow them time to process. And for Leah to be having the same conversation with Janae, and Janae is also saying, oh, so where do you stand with Cassie? It's like, please, allow these people time to sort of grieve their relationships. Yes, you are in the villa to explore connections. Let them know you're exploring connections with other people, or wait for your person if you think this is your person, and hopefully the two of you will come back together. But there's no need for you to be rushing a relationship to say, oh, you've broken up with this person, now it's my turn, let's go. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. In the real world, people can grieve relationships for months, for weeks, for years, for forever. So for them to have this, oh, but so is the door still open for you and Cassie? What does she expect him to say? To say it's closed? No, he's not going to say that, because he's still processing what's happened. And the fact that the whole villa appears to have turned against him, I still don't get. Other islanders have done things just almost as bad. The only difference is he actually had sex. Other people have fingered people and nobody's been upset with them. And just suddenly, because it's Leo, the sky is going to fall and everybody wants his head on a stake. I don't get that. I really don't. And it's really infuriating for me. But anyway, thanks for stopping by, guys. It was a great episode. I can't wait for tonight's episode. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Bye, everyone.